Hello there and welcome back. Yes, we are discussing digital nomads on this, our special segment, Starting Up, as we focus on the business trends that are affecting small and medium-sized businesses and entrepreneurs. Now, Dubai ranked the third best city in the world for digital nomads. Neil Petch, the chairman of Virtuzone, is here with me, of course, as company setup specialist. They've got their fingers on the pulse of the remote workers here in the Emirate. But we are also joined on the line now by Fuad Fatullaev, the co-founder of WeWay, a company which describes itself as a full-scale ecosystem for media influencers and their community. Fuad, I apologise for murdering your surname there. Lovely to have you on the radio joining us on Teams. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. You're not the only one murdering my surname, so it's all right.
I feel mildly vindicated, although as a radio presenter, it kind of is in the job description. Now, what I love is that you're a digital nomad, and you're so nomadic that you're not here with us in the studio, are you?
That's true. I'm actually in a different part of the world right now, but yeah, I'm actually streaming from France.
Yeah, come on, stop being modest, Fuad. We've seen you at the Cannes Film Festival. The life of the blockchain influencers. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, we're actually sponsoring the Cannes Bloggers Award, and some of our bloggers have actually won several awards, so it was fun. Thank you for having me, guys.
That's absolutely fantastic. Now, listen, Fuad, I don't know if you heard any of the show, and it's probably quite early in France, but we've been talking about digital nomads. You're a great example. You were filmed in our offices, actually, by the BBC just a couple of weeks ago, talking about how you've moved your staff over to Dubai. And we just had a gentleman on, Shiraz, who has an amazing Rolodex of celebrities. And he's just told me off air, one of them is Logan Paul. He's coming WeWay's way. So that's our gift. That's Georgia and my gift from starting up to WeWay. But he was talking about traditional ways to help people monetize. There's so many projects out there, Fuad, at the moment that are raising money through tokenomics, such as you. But a lot of them, there's quite a bit of hot air, whereas I really feel there's some solidity behind WeWay. There's a purpose for it. And as the chairman of Virtuzone, that we have so many influencers setting up with us, they're desperate for support. So tell us a little bit about what WeWay is doing for that community.
Sure. Well, thank you so much. I think we've met Shiraz, and I think he does have an actual great network of influencers. So happy to be presenting after Shiraz. So WeWay is an ecosystem of products built around influencers and their communities. I think the biggest problem in the digital space, especially if we're talking about blockchain, is the lack of understanding of what it is. And we actually have one of the biggest problems now we have is that the adoption of crypto is still quite at the early stages. And if we are to take the biggest communities of the influencers, the biggest problem is they actually don't understand what crypto is. And not only them, just majority of the world. I actually found some very good stats yesterday that 12% of US adults actually use crypto, and that's amazing stats because I think 1 year ago that was around 5%. So 12% of the US population are using crypto, which is, by the way, amazing stats. Just shows that how massive adoption crypto is growing, but still at the very, very early stages. So a lot of people don't really understand what NFTs are, what the world of Web3 means. For them, a metaverse is something that they still can't comprehend. In their head, it's like they think this is something of an era of the 23rd century, but it's not. It's coming now, and it's important that people start understanding it. So our idea is to first educate the people. So we are building the largest crypto academy on the basis of learn to earn, where you can actually learn crypto and you can earn by learning crypto, which is very important.
So you're getting paid to go to university?
Yeah, it's more of a like. Yeah.
Don't you wish that was happening when we were somewhat younger?
Actually,
Georgia?
The first year that I went, I was the first year that had to pay in the UK. So I feel particularly wounded.
Wounded. Oh my God! I went to the UK as well. I went to UCL, And like of course the fees are very high. But anyways, the idea here is that we want the people cover the money that we spent while learning and while paying for the actual courses. So it's a very similar model to the to the step-on model. It's probably knows a lot of people know about it, where you actually wear the shoes, the digital shoes, right?
Yep.
So you buy the digital shoes as NFTs, and you actually walk around and make money. So this is a similar model, but in our model, we are tackling the learn to earn. No one has done it yet, and we're using the power of influencers. Thousands of influencers that are part of our network to share knowledge through their communities, but not only through the influencers. Well, also we'll be also heavily investing into different type of traffic to make sure that we can educate at least 1 million people in a period of 1 year. So that is our aim. So that's number one. Number one is preparing the communities to understand what crypto is, because while trying to integrate the communities of influencers into the world of Web3, it's impossible to do that unless the community is actually taught in crypto.
So basically, Fuad, we've got, I'm going to do a little name drop here. Lindsay Lohan's a customer of ours. She's got huge numbers of followers, and they're incredibly loyal. But yet, she probably hasn't been to a crypto university or learnt how to use an NFT. What would be some of the advice that you would give someone like her, that your university would give her, and ways that she could go about maximizing and leveraging that?
Yeah, it's actually a great example, and I will actually show you two different examples. I will take Paris Hilton as a great example. She's actually regarded as one of the key opinion leaders in the NFT space. And let's say you would take Lindsay Lohan, who also tried doing several things around the subject, who I'm not sure she really succeeded in that direction. And the reason for that was her community was not prepared. So what Paris Hilton did differently, she started to get herself actually interested in that. She would go into different clubhouses, learn with their community. She would teach them what it is. She would be taught herself. So she would take a big time to warm up her auditor and community, to become fans of her work, to become interested in what it is. So the learning curve is very essential, and what is most essential is to make sure that your community is actually understand what it is. I'll give you an example. A few days ago, I was giving at the Cannes Festival. I was giving a speech. I was giving a lecture, and it's around, I don't know, at that time around 200 people. So I asked the guys, how many of you have a MetaMask wallet? And I had around 8 people that raised their hands. So I said, okay, that means 8 people have a MetaMask wallet. So I would assume from those 8 people, only 1 or 2 would have an NFT, and that was true. So imagine, you're actually on a tech-savvy event, right? And people don't really understand what NFTs are. They understand that they don't even have a
take
wallet,
you
right?
away from the university side of things and a little bit about, because I saw that you're also launching a platform that enables people who are seeking to raise money to create projects to provide them an end-to-end solution. Now, George, remember there was that share that was boosted. It was on I think the New York Stock Exchange, and it was boosted by the public rather than by the multinationals.
That Reddit incident.
Yeah, exactly. And I think WeWay is a little bit like that. We've seen the crypto market have its struggles over the last couple of weeks, and great timing, Fuad, for you to come on, because I see that you've risen 11% in the last day, and I was just comparing your chart to what the overall market has done, and it seems as if, I don't know whether this community are backing your product rather than the whales who are speculating, and as such you're able to push against the trend. So can you tell us a little bit about the tokenomics for someone that would be wanting to come to an ecosystem such as WeWay and use it to help spread the word?
Yeah, for sure. That's actually a very great example. We have raised around 1,000% in a period of 1 month, 1.5 months. Yesterday we had around 25% increase. I mean, those increases don't really mean much for us. We work with our communities. We are community centric. I think you mentioned GameStop, right? It's a stock that went viral after its Reddit boom. I think that was the stock that you were referring to. But to be more precise of WeWay, let me explain more what WeWay is, so you can have a clear picture. So number one is an educational aspect, educational platform. Number two is we work as an agency with an influencer to understand the way how we can integrate them into the world of Web3. So we work with the tier 1 influencers. Some of them are the biggest stars in the Arab region, by the way. You probably will know them. We can't disclose them right now until official announcement, but it's number one Arab star here with the most number of following, with the most number of views and outreaches. And same with, we're actually working with some of the biggest CIS guys and some of the biggest American guys. So we work with them end to end to establish the best strategy, how to integrate them to the world of Web3. To some, we're doing meta shows we're doing the biggest digital shows for some of the biggest singers. So that's our approach as an agency, is to take the right way how to take an influencer, a tier 1 influencer, and get him out there.
Fuad, it sounds enormously exciting. Disappointingly, I'm so sorry. I'm afraid we've run out of time, which has been, but it's been amazing speaking to you about how you're framing the future, I suppose. That's probably the best way. I think quite a lot of it, we're all just getting used to the concept of the metaverse and the various different elements connected to that. But it sounds like you have very much got your finger on the pulse on that. Fuad, pleasure to speak to you. Fuad Fatullaev is the co-founder of WeWay, which is a company which describes itself as a full-scale ecosystem for media influencers and their community.
You're listening to Starting Up on the Agenda on Dubai Eye 103.8.
With Virtuzone, business set up with no regrets.